Good morning, everyone. This is Prashanti, Assistant Professor, AI Department. So today I'm here to teach you the subject Network Theory in second year, first semester. So first of all, I congratulate all of you to come to the second year. You already came across with the different subjects in the first year, along with the basic subjects of physics, chemistry, like that. And you came across with the basic technical subjects like basic electrical and electronic technology, like that. So this subject. I'm going to deal the subject which is a network theory. So this is the extension of your basic electrical theory, network theory. So the main objective of this subject is to understand the basic concept on RLC circuits. So you already learned in the first year itself the basic components like resistor, inductor, capacitor, all those things. What is the functions of those elements? You already learned. So how they are going to use in the circuits and how we are going to reduce the circuits to give a better circuits or better reduction of the circuits that we are going to learn in this subject. So the main objective of the subject, that is the behavior of those active passive elements and basic Laplace transform, and to understand the two-port network and to understand the filters. So you already seen you are in daily life, you are going to see in the different transmission lines, right? So we are going to get the power from the transmission lines to the transformers, after transformers to our households. After that, we are going to use those powers. So how we are going to get those powers and how we are going to calculate the voltage current in that particular how much of current we are going to get, or how much of a device, how much of voltage that will work, that we are going to learn in this subject. So after learning this subject, after total learning of this subject, you can able to learn, or you can able to know about the different elements what are we going to use in the different circuits. You are going to design the different basic circuits or basic circuit to the maximum circuits, like all electronic circuit like fridge, washing machine, whatever the inverters, basic mixies, whatever we are going to use in the household. So those are all are the electrical devices, and inbuilt some circuits are there. In that circuit we are going to use a different devices like resistors, capacitor, or transformers, or inverters, or basic filters. Those are all. So the what is the function of those elements we are going we can learn about those elements in this subject. And also you can analyze the periodic waveforms, how we are going to get the outputs in a periodic, that is sine wave, like that. So we can analyze the performance of that waves. And you already you can able to learn about the different parameters, two port parameters like z, y, a, b, c, d, h parameters, like that. And you can design the filters in a physical fashion. That is the outcome of outcome of this subject. So basically our JNTU prescribed, which is having 5 chapters. So first chapter, which is a review of RLC, RC, RLC circuits and network topology. In this first chapter, you are going to learn about the different kinds of elements what are going to learn, and those how we are going to reduce those elements or reduce the circuits into a simplified fashion. That is called about network topology. Here we are going to learn how we are going to convert the circuit into the graphical fashion. After that graphical fashion into the mathematical way, we are going to learn. And next one, second chapter, which is we learned RC elements, RL elements in the first chapter. And that what is the analysis, that is a steady state of transient analysis, in the second chapter. After that, third chapter, which is a network theorems, in order to reduce the different, that is big networks, into a simplified one element to two elements, like that, we need to learn about the network theorems. By using network theorems, we are going to reduce the entire networks into the small networks, and we are going to reduce the circuits in portable manner. So fourth chapter, which is entire, we are going to learn about the two port networks. which is a transmission lines and which is a transformers we are going to use here. So two port networks, which is Z, Y, ABCD parameters, here we are going to learn. And next, lastly, we are going to use the filters, L section filter, pi section filter, LC filters, how it eliminates the noise in the original signal, how we transmit the original actual signal, that we are going to learn in the fifth chapter. So this is your review of your network theory. So network theory, we are going to learn the different types of elements what are going to use in the particular circuits or networks, and we are going to analyze the voltages, currents or power, whatever the delivered or accept by that particular elements, and how much of current we are going to get, how much of voltage we are going to get in that particular circuit, that we are going to learn about the network theory. So now we are going to the first chapter, which is a basic review of R, that is resistor, inductor, capacitor, RC circuit, RL circuit and RLC circuits. So in order to go to depth for this elements, first we have to know about the basic knowledge or basic laws. So basic laws about the different elements. So these are the basic laws we must know to enter into this subject, which is a Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's law, series resistance and voltage division, parallel resistance and current division, and source exchange. So you already learned, but just I'm reviewing these topics, which is first one, Ohm's law. So Ohm's law, this is basically work in resistor. So a component which is a resistor. So resistor, which is like a like this, in which is showing in the PPT, which is having the length of L and which is having the area of A, and which is having a resistivity of that component, that is a rho. Then we can define the resistance, that is R is equals to rho L by A. So here if resistance is very less, that conductivity will be very more, and if the resistance is very high, that current passing capability is very less, and that will resist the current passes. So that will having a high resistivity, that is called as an insulator, which is having a low resistivity, that is known as a conductor. So the basic good conductors are copper, gold, and good insulators are glass and paper. So this is about basic resistance. So in that resistance, that will follow the Ohm's law. Ohm's law is nothing but whatever the voltage is proportional to the current, that is V is proportional to I. So if we remove the proportionality constant, we'll get R. R is our proportionality constant, that is a resistance of that particular component. Here in picture, that will show a resistance which is a zigzag line, and one end that will indicate the positive, another end that will indicate the negative, which is a sign of the current, or which is a direction of the current that is going to entering. So I, which is having a direction which is towards to the right arrow, and we are going to indicate the voltage which is in plus minus sign. So always you are going to indicate voltage in a plus minus sign, and current we are going to indicate in a direction by using an arrow. So here V is equals to IR, our Ohm's law. So by that we can get I is equals to V by R, or R is equals to V by I. So if there is no polarity, that current is entering in this way or current is entering in this way, then I is equals to I1 minus I1. So here you can see the direction which is entering at the positive side, that current is I, and next which is entering at the negative side, that is I1. If that I is equals to minus I1, that is V is equals to minus I1 into R. Okay. But if we consider the polarities, that opposite direction will give the negative sign. So R is equals to 0. R is equals to 0 is nothing but resistance totally 0. If minimum resistance is there, that is a good conductivity. If resistance is 0, that may act like a short circuit. Total short circuit. Maximum current will flow in that one. So if R is equals to infinite, R is equals to infinite means that will have more and more resistance. That should not accept the current, so that will act like a, until that current does not enter into that will act like a open circuit, so current will not passes through that one. So here R is equals to 0, that is a short circuit. R is equals to infinite, that is a open circuit. So conductance. So what is mean by conductance? We learn resistance now. So resistance, which is opposition of a current. So which will oppose the passing of a current. So nothing but conductance. If resistance is low, conductance, that is a good conductor we are telling. So nothing but conductance, which is the opposite of a resistance. So here, that is G is equals to 1 by R, we can see, which is the inverse of a resistance. So the units of a resistance is ohms, then become conductance of a units are ohms, mhos, that is Siemens. Okay. So next we'll go for power. So what is mean by power? Which is a product of voltage into current. That is, a resistor always dissipate energy. It transform electrical energy and dissipate it into the another heat. So that energy, whatever the energy that will dissipate, or whatever the energy that will uh, dissipate as a heat, that can called as a power. So power, we can take it as P is equals to V into I. So but we already know that is V is equals to IR. We can substitute that one, that R is equals to I square we can get. So which is the current we are indicating I of t, voltage we are indicating V of t. Nothing but that voltage or current or power, the parameters are changing with the time intervals. So that is V of t into I of t. So I of t, that is equals to V by R, that is V of t by R. If we substitute in the Vi, we can get that is V square t by R. So always power should be greater than or equals to 0. So if power value is always less than 0, those are the passive elements. So those are the active elements if that is greater than or equals to 0. So next law. So we completed the Ohm's law. Next we'll go for the Kirchhoff laws. So this is also based upon the voltages as well as the currents. So first we can know about series connection, how we are going to connect the parallel connection, and in which connections we are going to get the Kirchhoff voltage law, and in which connection we are going to get the Kirchhoff currents law, we'll see. So here one network I'm showing, which is a V voltage plus minus, that is a DC voltage we connected. So the end of that DC voltage is connected to the R1 and R2, and the R2 resistance, those two are grounded. So the current passes to the network is I, let us take. So this is R1, R2 are in the series connection, right? So R1, R2 are in the series connection, and V0 is series with the R1 and R2. So here, if two or more elements are connected in series, if they carry the same current, that is sequential manner. So if parallel, so current does not divide in the serial network. So current will be same. In the previous network I shown, that is current will be same. So if we connected the elements in parallel, what happens we'll see. So one network, one source V, I connected a resistor across that one. The two ends of the R1, R2 are connected together. So if two ends, that is one end shorted and another end shorted, that type of connection is called as a parallel connection, you know. So if we connect one end of the resistor and another end of one resistor connected like this, and these two ends are connected to the another elements, that is called as a series connection. So here this, if I'm showing one network, in this the main network, that is V source, that will deliver that will generate the current of I, but at the node, first node, that resistance R1, that current is dividing as I1, and next current is dividing as I2 in the R2 network. So here current is dividing. So current is dividing, and the same current is not passes through the R1 and R2. That particular node current is dividing I1 and I2. So if we connected like this, these circuits or these elements are in parallel connection. Two or more elements are connected in parallel if they are connected to the same two nodes, consequently have the same voltage across them. So here current is dividing, but in the parallel network the voltage will be similar. But in the previous network we have at resistor R1 we have the voltage as V1, and R2 we have the voltage as V2. In a series network, you remember this point, in series network voltage is divided, current will be the same. In parallel network, current will divides, voltage will be the same or similar for all networks. So this is we'll go for the kick of current law, which is current law, that is algebraic sum of current entering at the node is equals to 0. So what is mean by algebraic sum? So algebraic sum means we have to consider the direction of the current or entering or leaving at the particular node. If current is entering at the node, then that will take it as a positive sign. If current is leaving across a particular node, we can take it as a negative. So that is algebraic sum, we can indicate with the sigma. So n is equals to 1 to n, those are the branches. N is equals to 1 to n, n is a node, so 1 to n are the particular branches. In is equals to 0, how many branches are there, that much of values will get, that is an algebraic sum. So where n is a number of branches connected to the node, in is a nth current entering or leaving to the node. So if entering, that is a positive sign, if leaving, that is a negative sign. So we'll see now. This is a sign convention, which is a node in between. So that particular node that is connected to the 5 branches. So let us take this as a network which is having only one node, and that particular node is take it as a 5 branches. So each and every branch which will indicate the current, that is first current I1, I2, these two are entering, I3 is leaving, I4 entering, and I5 is leaving. So we are going to write the algebraic sum. So I already told, which is if current is entering, we should take a positive. So if current is leaving, we should take it as a negative. So now you tell me, so what will be the equation? Here I1 is entering, that is positive sign I1. So we are taking algebraic sum, right? Until we are going to add all the values and we are going to equate it to the 0. So first one is a I1, which is a entering. So entering means that we are going to take I1 is a positive, and next one I2 is also entering, so plus I2, I3 is leaving, that is minus I3, plus I4 which is entering, I5 which is a leaving, that is minus I5 is equals to 0. So this is actually Kirchhoff current law. So current entering at the node is positive, current leaving at the node are negative. So we will see the another network, that is same equation. We can take like this also. That is Kirchhoff current law, that is in opposite manner. Previously we taken entering is positive, leaving is negative. So entering, if we take it as a positive, that equation will become I1 plus I2 minus I3 plus I4 minus I5 equals to 0. Leaving, if we leave leaving as a positive, entering as a negative, which is the opposite of a previous conversation, which is minus I1 minus I2 plus I3 minus I4 plus I5 equals to 0. So for both equations, we'll get the same result. That is the sum of the current entering at a node is equals to the sum of the current leaving at the node. So in the same way, if we simplify those two equations, we'll get I1 plus I2 plus I4 is equals to I3 plus I5. So same result will get either entering or leaving, but you should take opposite. If entering you take positive, leaving should take as a negative. If you take entering as a negative, leaving should take as a positive. So whatever, entering current equals to leaving current. This is a basic formula of the Kirchhoff current law. Next we'll go for Kirchhoff voltage law. In the same fashion, which is an algebraic sum of currents at a particular node is equals to 0 is a KCL. So here KVL, which is an algebraic sum of the voltages around in a loop. So we already seen a series circuit, which is a voltage is connected to the two resistors are in series. So which will create a closed path. That closed path is called as a loop. So KVL that can be defined like this: the algebraic sum of the voltages around any loop equals to 0. So like algebraic sum means I already told, which you have to take as a sigma, and here M, capital M, the number of voltages in the loop, the number of voltages in a particular loop, and Vm is a mth voltage in that particular loop. So we'll see the circuit. So same circuit I taken here, which is a sign for the sign convention for the simplicity, which is a voltage source is connected to the R1 R2 resistance in series. Okay, so total current I, so I should not divide, and why? Because this is a series network. voltage will be dividing. At the R1 resistor, the voltage across that particular resistance is V1 will take, let us take. So at R2, that voltage across that particular resistance, let us take V2. Now we have three voltages, which is V0 as our source, V0 is a source, V1 the voltage across the resistor R1, V2 the voltage across the resistor R2. So if here remember this thing, all passive elements like resistor, capacitor or inductor, whatever the other elements which are passive elements, which are going to deliver the energy, or which are going to accept the energy from the sources, that we should take it as a negative. Okay, sources we are going to make a sign changes. How? That is, if here also we are going to take in two ways. Current I, first example, current I that is entering at the negative sign of the voltage source. If the negative sign of the voltage source, if that is entering, we can take it as a positive, or else if current entering at the negative sign, that will take it as a positive. Here first one is a clockwise direction. So if you consider the clockwise direction, like if I is entering at the negative terminal, so negative terminal of the source, that you are going to take it as a negative, then you have to take passive element voltage values are positive. Okay, like clockwise direction, you see the equation. First, current I is entering at the negative terminal, so we could take it as a negative, that is minus V0. So all passive element you should take it as a positive. So passive elements R1, voltage across the resistor R1 is V1. We are going to take it as positive, plus V1. And next R2 resistance, that is plus V2. So the equation will become current entering at the negative terminal, so that is minus V0 plus V1 plus V2 equals to 0. That is algebraic sum of the voltages in a particular loop equals to 0. If we take it as a counterclockwise, that is opposite of the previous equation. First I told, that is current is entering at the negative terminal. So negative terminal means if the source we are going to take it as a positive when current is entering at the negative terminal, then all passive elements you should take it as a negative. Okay, so here you see second equation. So first passive elements I wrote. So passive elements nothing but minus V2. All passive elements we are going to take it as a negative. So minus V2 minus V1, and next one that is entering at the negative terminal, so that we are that source value we are going to take it as a V0 plus V0 equals to 0. So plus V0 minus V1 minus V2 equals to 0. So first equation is a clockwise equation, second equation is a counterclockwise equation. You can follow any one method, but don't confuse while considering two. So here that algebraic sum, if we simplify that one, V0 is equals to V1 plus V2. That source voltage that can be divided into two networks, same, that is V1 plus V2. So third, which is a series resistance and voltage division. So what is series resistance? Series resistance, I already told, one end of the resistor is connected, the another end of the resistor, that is called as a series connection. These two ends that are connected to the sources or another elements like this. If we connected this type, that is called as a series resistor. So we can apply one voltage division principle for only the series resistor. If the network is having series resistances, then we can apply the voltage division principle. What is mean by voltage division? Here the total voltage source, that is V0, is dividing into V1 as a R1, V2 in the R2. Nothing but voltage is dividing in part of R1 and R2. So that we can write it as here total resistance. So if we consider, if we want to simplify the network, all voltage sources should be shorted, all current sources should be open to simplify the network. So if we connected as a voltage source as a short circuit, then R1, R2, how they are in parallel. So what is the equivalent resistance if we consider the source? If we consider the source, R1, R2 are the series. So what is the total resistance? Total resistance, that is series resistance, Rs is equals to R1 plus R2. Here we already simplified in the KVL equation, that is V naught is equals to V1 plus V2. But V is a voltage. By Ohm's law, we can write that current passes through the R1 resistor is I. So V1 is equals to what it will be, that is I R1. And in the same way, R2 resistance, that voltage V2 is equals to current passes through the resistor and into resistance, and I into R2. So we can simplify that one. If we take a common I into R1 plus R2, R1 plus R2 is nothing but the series resistance. That network will become, we are going to reduce the two element network into the single element, which is V in series with the resistance Rs. Now we can write it as like this: I is equals to V naught by Rs. So total current I is equals to V naught by Rs. But we already know Rs is equals to, which is a series of a resistances, R1 plus R2. If we substitute that one, V naught by R1 plus R2. Then V2. What about V2? So V2, that voltage across the resistance R2. So I into R2. But we already calculated I, that is V naught by R1 plus R2 into R2. So we can calculate V1 also, that is IR1. So substitute I value, V naught by R1 plus R2 into R1. So now you observe this V1 and V2 equations. So V1, which is V naught. V naught is a total voltage into R1. What is R1? That is the resistance of resistance, that is a first element resistance. So we are calculating voltage in that. So that is R1 by total resistance, that is R1 plus R2. And we can say like this: V1, voltage across the resistance R1, equals to the source resistance into the same resistance by total resistance. So now you tell me, what about the voltage across the R2? R2 is nothing but that voltage we are going to calculate, that V2 equals to total voltage is V0 into what is the same resistance of, we are calculating the voltage across R2, that is R2 by total resistance. Total resistance is nothing but R1 plus R2. So this is a voltage division principle once again. So voltage division principle, if you want to calculate the voltage across a particular resistance, that is series resistances, then voltage across a particular resistance equals to total voltage into same resistance by total resistance. So you remember this formula. And next one, parallel resistance and current division. So current division possible in only the parallel resistors, right? So voltage division, that can be possible in the series resistance. So voltage will be dividing in the series resistors, current will be dividing in the parallel resistors, right? So here current division. So this is network I already shown at parallel circuits and series circuits, which is having a voltage source of V, and R1, R2 are connected in parallel, and total current I, that is dividing into the networks, that is I1 and into the R1, I2 into the R2. So here the total current I equals to, I is dividing as I1 and I2. So I is equals to I1 plus I2. I1 plus I2. But I1, what is the value of I1? By Ohm's law we can write, that is voltage by resistance. So in parallel network, voltage is common, voltage is similar. So the total voltage V by R1 is a 1 value and V by R2 is a I2 value. We can substitute those one, V by R1 plus V by R2. So we can take it as common V, 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So that's, we can simplify as V by RP. So V by RP, what is V by RP? 1 by RP. If two networks are in parallel connection, what we can write? Two networks or two resistors are in parallel, R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. If two resistances are in series, we can write the equivalent resistance value as R1 plus R2. If two resistances are in parallel, R1 into R2 by R1 plus R2. So that RP value, I am going to reduce the circuit by using that one voltage source that is connected in series, that is RP. So now we take the current division. So here I1 is nothing but V of t by R1, but we know the V of t value, which is R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. I2 value is V by R2, but we know the V value, that is R1 by R1 plus R2 into I of t. So now you can simplify the total concept, that is, if you want to calculate if we want to calculate or if we want to divide the current in a network, we can apply the current division principle when the resistors are in parallel with a current source. Then if if you want to calculate the current across the R1 resistor, that is I1, equals to total current, that is I, into whatever the value we are going to calculate, that should be height, opposite value we have to take, that is total current I into R2 by R1 plus R2. In the same way, if you want to calculate the current across the R2, that is I2 is equals to total current I into that opposite resistance. What will be the opposite resistance of the R2? That is R1. So R1 by R1 plus R2. So current division, we should take it as opposite resistance by total resistance. In voltage division, we should take it as same resistance by total resistance. So there should be a voltage source in series with the resistor. So here is a current source in parallel with the resistors. So entire opposite, don't confuse. So there is a voltage and series with the resistors, and here current in parallel with the resistors. So the opposite resistance by total resistance, there same resistance by total resistance. So here this is a current division principle, same thing, that is Rp by Rj into I of t. So next, which is a source exchange. So we finished Ohm's law, Kirchhoff laws, and series resistance, voltage division, parallel resistance, and current division. Next, source exchange. So how we are going to convert from one source to the another source? Source exchange means we can exchange the source, that is voltage source as a current source as a voltage source. How? That is, if we have a voltage source in series with a resistor, that we can convert it into the current source in parallel with the resistor by changing the values. So current we can calculate by Ohm's law, that is V is equals to I is equals to V by R. So V by R. So voltage source will become Vs by R is there. And resistance which is the same value, that is series resistance, that will become a parallel resistance. Just we are going to interchange the source, that is voltage source into the current source. By taking a Ohm's law formula, we can substitute, we can take the value of the current source. And in the same way, voltage source, current source into the voltage source, that is I into R we can take. So this is a basic concepts of a network theory. Next we'll go for, in the next class, we'll go for the first chapter, that is network topology. Thank you.